Welcome back to Sugar UnSpiked. In this episode, the sweet and sometimes sour truth on sugar, we're diving deep into the world of sugar and its surprising connection to our bodies. We'll also crack open some sugary myths and shed light on the different types of diabetes and how they're diagnosed. So, let's talk about the basics. Sugar, or sucrose, is a simple carbohydrate found naturally in fruits, vegetables, and even milk. But the one thing we're all familiar with is the added sugar, which is found in processed foods, drinks, and yes, even some seemingly healthy options. When we consume sugar, our bodies break it down into glucose, which is the primary source of energy for our cells. Sounds good, right? Well, yes and no. Our bodies break down sugar into glucose, which fuels our cells. But too much sugar can lead to spikes in blood sugar, causing us to crash later and crave more sugary goodness. It's a vicious cycle. Here's the thing. Our bodies are wired to regulate blood sugar levels. When we down a sugary drink or treat, our blood sugar spikes. This might make you think of a sugar rush, but here's the twist. The body releases insulin, a hormone that helps cells absorb glucose. A sudden spike in insulin can lead to a dip in sugar, leaving you feeling sluggish. That's the dreaded sugar crash. Did you know that the average American consumes a whopping 15 teaspoons of added sugar per day? That's more than triple the recommended amount. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, diabetes. What is diabetes? Think of your body as a giant mansion. Food is the fuel, and insulin is the security guard letting all the good stuff in, which is glucose, into the cells for energy. In diabetes, that security guard is either MIA or a bit sleepy on the job. This leads to high blood sugar, which can cause all sorts of problems if left unchecked. You can't simply get diabetes by eating too much sugar. However, excessive sugar intake can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. Now, diabetes isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. The condition affects millions of people worldwide. But fear not, we're going to break down the different types of diabetes and explain the differences. First up, we have type 1, which is like your awesome friend who showed up to the party uninvited. It's often diagnosed in childhood or in young adults. This type of diabetes occurs when the immune system mistakenly attacks the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas. That poor pancreas just can't catch a break. Without enough insulin, glucose accumulates in the bloodstream, leading to a high blood sugar level. Next on our list is type 2, a more common form of diabetes. It's more like a gradual guest list overload. Your body becomes resistant to insulin or doesn't make enough. This type typically develops in adults, but can occur in children and adolescents. Unlike type 1 diabetes, type 2 is often linked to lifestyle factors such as a poor diet, lack of exercise, or excessive body weight. Over time, the body becomes resistant to insulin or doesn't produce enough of it. Did you know that diabetes affects 400 million people worldwide? That's a big party guest list. Now, on to gestational diabetes, which is a temporary form of diabetes that affects pregnant women. It's caused by a hormonal change during pregnancy that affects the insulin sensitivity. While it usually resolves itself after giving birth, women who have gestational diabetes are also prone to a higher risk of developing type 2 later in their life. Talk about a double whammy. There's also other less common types of diabetes, such as monogenetic, which is caused by a genetic mutation, or secondary diabetes, which results from other medical conditions or even other medications. Some common symptoms of diabetes include frequent urination, excessive thirst, unexplained weight loss, or things like being fatigued, irritated, having blurred vision, or even increased hunger. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. With the proper management through medication, lifestyle modifications, and regular monitoring, you can lead a happy and healthy life despite your diagnosis. Okay, that was a lot to take in, so let's change up the tone a bit. After all, humor is the best medicine. So here's a joke. What's a diabetic's drug of choice? Diet Coke. So, going back to our sweet friend, the sugar. Did you know a common myth is that natural sugars are better for you than refined sugars? While natural sugars found in fruits and honey do come packed with some added nutrients like fiber and antioxidants, they still break down into the same simple sugars in our body as refined sugars. So it's best to enjoy all forms of sugar in moderation. Remember, knowledge is power. If you think you might have diabetes, get checked by your doctor. There are a lot of resources available, amazing treatment options, and tons of support like the one you'll find here at Sugar UnSpiked. Living with diabetes can be a fun and fulfilling adventure, and we're here to cheer you on every step of the way. That's all for this episode of Sugar UnSpiked. Remember, a balanced diet and limiting added sugars are key to a healthy lifestyle. Follow us on social media at Sugar UnSpiked, subscribe to our podcast on your favorite streaming platform, and tag us using the hashtag SugarUnSpiked. Thanks for joining.